that we sometimes take for granted. What's up, Dad?
D-A-D, that's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many men before me. D-A-D, that's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many men before me. D-A-D, that's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many men before me. D-A-D, that's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many men before me. D-A-D, I tip my hat to the. We were part of your conception, our first connection. For 9 months after that, we too craved confections. Watching you grow was a real reflection on the love that we would give from our heart's collection. Gonna teach you lessons, give good impressions. We'll always keep you close so you won't have to be down. Anticipation and excitement now part of the game. So how real is it gonna be just to speak your name? We're bursting at the seams, we can't wait to meet you. We thought of every way on how to part.
What's up, and welcome to Dadchop, where we chop it up, dad style. So, good afternoon. It's Wednesday, 1 p.m., and I'm trying to test out some audio to make sure that we got everything in check. Everything sounds good, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know what kind of system glitches I was having on Monday, but I apologize because, ouch, that's pretty stinky. Yeah, okay. Well, we're in and we're on. So I just want to say what's up to everybody. This is Dadchop. We're chilling in the Dad Lab. You're lounging here today with Chuck, as per the norm. Just been in it, man. Been doing like a lot of dad activities, i.e. cooking dinners, making things happen. I guess not really cooking a whole lot. I guess I cooked a little bit kind of over the last couple of weeks. It's been like more cleaning, taking care of like laundry that's being brought home by my collegiate student. My son not feeling well, and then trying to nurse him back and stay on top of him, doing homework, maintaining the regular things you maintain here in the house. Pretty much still just in here doing it, like, every day. Like, that's kind of like what it is, what it has become. So with that, I gotta make some decisions this afternoon, and then I got the anesthesia call today, so we'll be talking about that a little bit. Not much, I mean, because that's just some personal ish, but just health. Getting the surgery done. But Monday was good. I thought Monday was going to be fruitful, and then Monday turned into a disaster because I couldn't log in and talk to y'all and hang out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, this is boo-boo. But ultimately, excuse me, trying to clear these sinuses because the allergens popping off, I guess, in the air here. With regard to all this rain, I got a lot of little weird weeds and stuff growing in my backyard, so I'm pretty sure everything's kind of putting stuff out, and we're just living through it right now. So I'll take my little Zyrtec and keep blowing my nose, and I'm good to go. I know y'all see I'm not going to stop drinking out of this Dallas Cowboy mug, regardless of what our fate is for the season. We just have to sit back and watch it unfold. As long as we don't have to pick up Garoppolo and they feel like Dak's can only be out for 4 weeks, I'll take that, right? We get there too. So I was saying on Monday that my son and I were having a discussion about social structure, and that him going to school is a huge part of that social structure, i.e., when you are in school, they're teaching you the things that you're going to do in kind of a pattern. You don't necessarily have homework and stuff like that. What up, Ichiban? I should look all right, man. He said, yeah, that's great. I'm like, I don't know about all that. Could just be the ickiness dryness in them, man. I got allergies popping off, so I don't know. My left eye over here, this is horrible. Nonetheless, sorry. Look at my face. The social structure is important based on getting the job. So I'm saying you're going to school and you may not like the subjects and the topics that you're learning about in school, but what school is doing is giving you structure. You have to go to school. You have to clock in because that's your taking attendance. You know, you're going to do the tasks that are set before you for this school day, which are your tasks at work, whatever job it is you hold. Now, if you're not interested in science, you're not interested in history, these are introductions. There is somebody in your class or somebody in your class overall, class, not just your room, but who wants to be a historian, or a few people who may want to be scientists, or a few people who want to do something else. I don't know. But the whole point is that you have people who are in your world at school who are going to take what's being taught and maybe run with that as the idea for their future. He's an auto mechanic kid. He likes to build. He's not necessarily just straight auto though. He likes to build. He likes to make things. So school isn't really teaching him that in history. They're not teaching you how to build anything in history. They're not teaching you how to do those things, right? In science. So those are not the classes he's interested in. He understands the mathematics is important. He's pretty much a whiz at math. I dig his set of math skills. You know, that's pretty dope. So with regard to structure and such, I'm trying to get him to understand that that's like what school is really a system of. It's giving you that structure, and he needs to just kind of ride the wave and do what we all did because we all went to school. You know, for those that didn't, some went back. You know, it's just part of what society is, man, around the world. Unfortunately, it's the mold that must be followed. So the unfortunate part in it for me to him is I don't have a choice but to make you go because you got to go and you got to see this and you got to learn this. But again, you're not doing anything that people haven't done before you for eons, whatever. So that I'm trying to let him see the responsibility behind that because just like in the morning when you got to get him up so he can go to school. I understand that the material is garbage because, you know, I see that they're teaching lies. But like I told Tristan, what is history? What is history? Or what are we always told about history? It's his story. So let it just be whoever story it is. I don't care. My point is if that's the stupid ass information that they want you to learn in school, so you can go out here and somebody else can ask you, hey, when you learned all your states, did you do this the state song? Ha, ha, ha. Like, you know, that's a familiarity because, you know, you did that. Or y'all might have done it a different way. You know, it may not have been in song. It might have been a poem, a state poem. I don't know. What I am really truly getting at is the responsibility and the structure. I'm trying to show that to him so he can find value in school. Because you're correct. He doesn't find value in the lessons. He doesn't care about history. That's not something he's going to go do, is what he tells me. He's not going to go become a scientist, a historian. He's not going to do any of that. You know, that's just not his thing. So understanding that, I'm trying to, as a father, find value in him going to school so I can get him to get the idea that, hey, school is still valuable, it's still important, but why don't you take it from this standpoint? You're just going to your job, you know, and your payment is the free rent you receive here and all the things you like your computer and your upgrades and all that kind of stuff that you don't pay for. There's your payment, you know. Bring home good grades, do what you're supposed to do, stay within the mold. You don't have to buy into the system. Just stay within the mold and do the thing that you need to do, right? Put on the mask for the day. And then when you get home, unmask and be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like not saying go out and be a fraud. What I am saying though is go ahead and put on your societal mask. See, we used to wear those, and these kids don't have those anymore because of everything that's gone on internet wise that we don't even have to discuss. It just is, right? So I'm saying ultimately you just kind of they're out here, they don't they don't really follow that same thing. So they don't have to put on a different thing. They just go do them. That's it. Do you 24/7. And I'm saying, there has to be a limitation to doing you because you can't just sit there and say something ignorant to your teacher and not expect repercussions. So I just want him to get the idea that school could be really simple. You know what I'm saying? That's great. I love it. I'm just all serious because I'm just like in dad mode. My bad. But I'm just saying, like, I just want him to grasp something from it. Like, get something out of this for yourself. If you don't like the lessons, just do the lessons, do the work, because that's the work that you got to do on the job, which is school right now. And the other side of that is be responsible for your time, I guess. Like when I have to get him up in the morning, he doesn't want to get up to the last second, and then he's in a rush. But now he's flustered and he's irritated, and we're trying to get you to school, and we're eating breakfast on the way to school, things of that nature. Those are causes of you not getting up and doing the things you needed to do, man. Why? Because you didn't want to get up. Okay, but I don't want to get up at 4 o'clock every morning either. Well, he didn't have to get up at 4. I don't get him up till like 6:30 is when I start the process. But I'm up at 4, 4:15, 4:30. Usually I'm already up by 3, sometimes 2, because, the dogs, myself, just not sleeping, whatever it is. I'm always alert. I'm always ready to just kind of be up. So when I do get up, we get on the grind. We start doing the things for the day because I'm not going to wait for a certain amount, like, a certain time. Like, I'm not going to wait till 8 a.m. before I start a load of clothes. If I'm already up and I know that I got to get laundry done today, then I'm on that. Excuse me. I'll have my bed torn down, broken down, and ready to go in the wash because we're both up. Nobody's going back to bed. Nobody's going to go to sleep. So we're up, So that's as simple as that is for me. It's just when the day starts, period, for me. For him, for most people, when the day starts, hopefully there's a good hour before it has to really be active. He just squeezes in that time because that's the way it works for like them, because like I hear him say like a lot of his friends will do that kind of thing, and I'm like, wow, it's so crazy. Because when I was growing up, when my mom said it was time to get up, man, even like my alarm clock would go off, I just have to get up. Like I have to just be up. Like I might lay there for a second. I mean, I'm not saying that you have to immediately fly out of the bed, even though that's what I do. I don't fly out of bed, but I get up, I get geared up, use the restroom, and start doing stuff. Get the dogs out for their first initial morning wake up, bathroom visit, and then we go from there. I make it happen, and everybody around me at that point is already up on their own mission, doing the things they got to do in order to prep for the day. As far as my spouse, the dogs are going to eat their breakfast and they're going to lay down. I'm going to go run my mile and lift my little free weights and do my thing. And then in that window, it's kind of like there's laundry's washed because, laundry can self-sustain. So all I need to do is just get it loaded and let it go. So my point is I make good use of my time because time management to me is imperative. It's like meeting you guys at 1 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays is a great scripted time for my schedule because by 2:30 I've got to pick up my son from school. So between 4 and this time that we're meeting, I've done laundry, I've swept floors, I've mopped, I've washed rugs, I've cleaned bathrooms, I've done I've run to the store if I had errands to run because I get those out of the way. Usually when I drop my son off at school, if I have to hit the grocery store, I try to do that in the interim because I'm already out. And I go to the furthest point first and backtrack. I'm just saying, time management, super crucial. It's part of our social structuring, and that's part of life. That's life. This is life. So that's all I'm trying to give my son is a spark of something that he'll maybe just say, okay, cool, I'll treat it like it's a job and I'll go to work and I'll do the work and then I'll get off the clock. And when I'm off the clock, I don't need to think about it. And if that's how he wants to work school to your advantage that way then. Like I told him, this is the best social time of your life, bro. I mean, partly, I guess, because, when you get older, there's always parties and other things you can attend, I get. But this right now is a really great time. This is a great time. He's got no true responsibilities. When you're a kid, you just don't, unless he was having to be out on the street hustling to get money so he could eat and pay to keep a roof over his head because, I'm laid out in the center of the living room, drinking or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not his fate. That's not his life. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't have any of those responsibilities, didn't have anything major collapsing around his head. And, God bless the people and the kids, especially any youngins that are going through any ordeals like I just described. It's freaking horrible, man. You know, but that's not this boy's life. And, my whole family has it pretty good. I had a dude a few weeks ago, a gentleman, not a dude, a nice gentleman, ask in kind of a funny way to maybe try to like I don't know, it was almost a cliche comment because we were talking about keeping up with your tasks and your jobs. I'm saying task oriented, and I try to get things done. And he, it wasn't a big challenge, but it was just that whole. Well, let me guess, if it wasn't for you, the house wouldn't be, this, or it wouldn't, be in order. And I actually said, yes, you're right, because that is how we run the house, man. Like I am the the bigger organizer is myself. Like I will arrange things and try to keep an order to things, and then there's secondary assistance every once in a while. But sometimes the vision is skewed, so you got to fix the shelf, or this is shouldn't be up here. This should be down here where it normally goes. Excuse me. So what I'm trying to do in all of that is make sure that I have organization. And organization for me is like just doing things in that way, right? So for myself, like if I start the laundry and I know I can sweep the floor in this moment in time, then I'm going to already have the broom ready to go ahead and get that next task done. But I try to keep things kind of orchestrated and a flow in my head so that I get everything done. So that way, by the time everybody's walking through that threshold back there, come into the house, I've handled the business. What up, Ev? How you doing? I've already handled the business. I've already made things go. So, you know, it's good. I can't complain. Oh my goodness. So that's why I say I try to lend the social structure concept to my son so that he kind of gets the idea that we're school has some form of value to it. Even if you, again, don't like what you're being taught, just do the work to support what you're being taught so that the people in charge of class know that you're paying attention, you're handling the business they're requesting of you, and you're good. Just stay within the structure to learn the structure. That's it. And it's tough because my son is very hard-headed, and everything comes with a stretch of real patience. Like, just, because if I was flying off the handle every time he reacted or had a reaction, I'd be in trouble. Right. What's up, Christopher? How you doing? So it's kind of like just being there to see my son growing is great. However, when people ask me, did you do this when you were a kid? Didn't you do this? Didn't you snap at your... Hell no, I didn't. Because if I'd have snapped at my mom, she'd have snapped my spine. So there's no snapping at adults. And I just got done actually having that conversation with my son the other day. I'm glad that the sound came out cool. I had to do that update. But yeah, I told my son the other day, I said, you know what? I'm your 53-year-old father, dude. You don't get to tell me how to react, how to speak, how to say nothing. Nothing. You just get to observe and absorb. Again, observe and absorb. And I just thought that was funny because, take in my information and watch how I handle my business. Those are your options, man. So I'm just like, whatever, man. I don't like to try to get into too much of the heavy lecturing of him because I know that whole one ear in one ear and out the other theory works, because worked for me when I was growing up. If I had done something that was crazy, and I did listen to my mom, but at some point I'm just saying, like, if there were other adults trying to be involved or say something, I might, like, I'll give you the attention that you're garnering because you're in my face or you're telling me whatever it is you're telling me as an adult and you're here. I'm gonna roll with that, but at the same time, I'm gonna maybe just kind of be like, yeah, well, I'm in La La Land. I might be thinking about Stretch Armstrong, my doll. Go home, stretch this doll out. Don't have any Space Ghost toys, but Space Ghost could be on this afternoon with Jan and Jace and Bleep, and I got to check that out. So it's, yeah, I don't know. Right. Been there, done that. It's 5. Whew, that's great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man, is like, I don't know. Today's kids, I think, just have kind of a different thing. Oh, Stretch Armstrong was like one of the illest dolls. He had like this jelly inside, and you could stretch that fool like this was like a 70s kind of toy. And he stood like from the bottom to like my hand here. He was a nice, what, let's say about 10-inch doll. He was a pretty big doll, but you could stretch him so your friend could grab his legs and you could take his arms and y'all could just stretch this fool as far as you could get stretched. And then when you let him go, he'd come back together. He looked kind of like he was like the 1975, 78 He-Man, right? Something in that era. Just one of the many toys we got to play with when I was coming up. We didn't have super cool stuff. Like, I mean, I was tripping on the graphics for Madden this season and almost lost my marbles. I was like, wow, like the authenticity of how everyone looks, the movements, their stadiums, cheerleaders, crowd noise. I mean, dang. Imagine had these games been like available to us, right, during the ColecoVision era, then at this point we would probably definitely be flying with backpacks and jetpacks or something, because this is some advanced stuff. I love looking at these game engines, man. So I might have to. I every year I grab a copy. I get a copy of Madden. It gets gifted, so it's just one of the many gifts that every year my family knows. Hey, Dad likes Madden, so let's get it Madden. So I get a new Madden every year. Dad, well, I guess so. I guess dang near every year. It's a good go-to. So I say, speaking of Madden, I know y'all saw this weekend's football, which I wanted to discuss on Monday. Did not get an opportunity to. I should have run Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback in my fantasy, because he blew up for like 58.6 points this weekend, and Dak got a measly 3 points, and then he gets injured. And then it's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys season is already trying to spiral out of control in some insane way, and we haven't even gotten past game one. And then my dude was going to be 6 to 8 weeks, and now it might be just 4 to 6 weeks. And we're going to attempt to rely on a quarterback who they say in Cooper Rush has a quarterback rating under pressure of 5. Maybe Dallas can hire me. Just kidding. I couldn't quarterback to save my butt. But still in all, neither can Cooper Rush, clearly. A rating of 5. It's pretty disgusting. So Micah Parsons went off this weekend, and he got 2 sacks on Tom Brady. He's the first rookie to already have 15 sacks in his career. He's making history, man. Micah Parsons is something else. I really wish the rest of the team would find their spark for that type of energy, because I think that if everybody on Dallas played at Micah Parsons' level, we would kill the NFL. We would crush, because that dude is just on fire, man, like ridiculously. So it's cool. And DeMarcus Lawrence had some moves, and that Sam Williams dude. Who else? The Smith kid that had to take on for the other Smith guy, who's the Pro Bowler who got injured. So Dallas's defense looked good. Dallas's offense, the offensive line, they said was going to struggle because a lot of new people on there. But I say the offensive line protected Dak a little bit better than I anticipated. Not fully, clearly, because his hand still got hit, and he's still, out now with some fractures and stuff. Well, now it's just the surgery's done, so now it's just healing and going back through the process of re-strengthening. So get that grip back so we can throw that ball. So basically, for the next couple weeks, I'll be running with Patrick Mahomes as my QB, which definitely nothing to frown at. I'm not gonna drop Dak because I think he should be back. I gotta recheck the roster and see when their bye weeks are. But I can pick up another quarterback, so I have the space because I picked up 3 defenses, and the weakest defense is gonna get dropped, and I gotta go look at the numbers and see what that is. But I'm definitely gonna keep the Chiefs defense because I grabbed them. I tried to get the Dallas defense, but of course I got outbid for that, and so I missed out. But what can you do? You know what I'm saying? You got to bid. Everybody's throwing in their money, and I got some pretty decent prospects overall. But yeah, I'm making up. I'm looking, seeing who's playing week to week, and we'll just make it happen. Probably won't win this season because I don't think I got enough power, but we'll see. People, injuries, all that good stuff. It's the NFL season's first game of the season, and I'm already 0-1. Yeah, you go, guy. Yay. Oh, look at Kona back there rolling around on the floor, upside down. Man, so Sports Chop, that's the summation. A lot of teams looked good in summary. I watched the Seahawks. I think I watched a little bit of the Green Bay game. I watched the Chargers. I think that was Chargers and the Raiders. Nonetheless, I saw what I needed to see this weekend as far as teams went. And we'll see how the season goes. Yay. So I wanted to talk on the subject of health chop for today is about exercise and not giving up. One of the hardest things to do when you're exercising is hit that plateau and then try to motivate yourself past the plateau. It takes a lot. for me personally, because I've gotten to that point, and I'm like, okay, so I lost 12 pounds, and for whatever reason, it's not really about the pounds for me either. It's more about getting the exercise in. And as long as I don't give up on getting the exercise in, I'm not really worried about the weight, because I know what I'm doing on this side of it. And I kind of, I couldn't get past a 22-minute mile for a couple weeks. I just stagnated at 22 minutes on the elliptical for 1 mile, and I was determined to do something more for myself. So I figured out how to find the rhythm in like several songs that kind of keep the same pace for my workout, rather, on Spotify. And once I did that, I set those as the mark for keeping pace. And I keep pace to those songs. Those 5 songs have gotten me to running a 15-minute mile, and I've done it consecutively for a week now. And I work out every day. I exercise daily, as if I were still in the Army doing PT. So I do that. It is done. I am now at 15. I think my last run was 15:30, 15:34 actually. But I'd gone from like a 36. I think there was one in there that was like I had a 16, I had a 17. So I could see where I was incrementally bringing it down, and now I'm at a steady 15 minute and however many seconds. Wow. The difference in pace, the difference in movement just made all the difference in the world. Now, as far as the weight goes, haven't checked it because I don't want to see it yet. But before my surgery, I was asked to lose another 10 pounds, which is cool because I was already on track to do that. I was already working toward that as my goal. That was what was coming, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. So, knowing that, sorry, I'm just switching angles in the chair. That's just as simple as that was for me. It's just like I had to set a course. I had to jump on the course. Thank you very much. I had to jump on that course, and I had to stick with that. And that is what made it hard. And I just want to say, Ev, that my thought process for that topic right now really was inspired by you, because you were saying, I saw one of your TikToks, and you were just saying that you had reached that point, and I was like, she's right, like, because I had reached that same point, and I thought, I want to do something to motivate myself behind what your thought process was, and just get past this so I can share this on Dadchop. And thank you for the motivation, because that's what made me think, like, wow, I have gotten to this point where this is where I'm at, and I got to get past this. I had no choice but to get past it, right? Because I want to be as healthy as I can going into surgery, and as healthy as I can coming back out, so that way my recovery is as short as possible. So, Fantastic Four, Reed Richards. But he had like such a clean hairstyle. You remember Plastic Man too? Plastic Man was the dude that had the sunglasses and the red like kind of uniform. I don't even know what you call that, because it had a collar but no pants. I was like, what is this dude? Plastic Man. Excuse me. So, with that, just stay on task, Right. As I say, as we get older, it's kind of like we have to stay active. Like, you see okay, look at the people that even young guys, like, look at the people if you exercise and you get out and you do stuff, you're like, you always feel invigorated and ready to do stuff, like, and ready to go, ready to get out the door and do something, right? And the people that don't exercise around you are the people that just kind of wilt into the world. And it's like, yo, dude, I do stuff. And then every time I come to your crib, you're on your duff, chilling, sitting, on the couch or sitting in the chair, looking at the big screen across the room. I don't do that. I couldn't even tell you what the hell's on my TV right now other than cartoons. And that's just because I have 4 dogs and I leave them something to occupy their minds that renders peace. And I just like to hear that when I'm moving around the house, cleaning and doing. It's like having somebody in there, but I don't need to really communicate with them. I just hear the TV. So it's kind of company, right? That's it. That's what I'm doing. But I stay grinding all day and I keep stuff going all day just to make sure that I get tasks done. So, we're going to be right back at pulling weeds here soon. So I'm like, whoo-wee. Excuse me. Pardon me. You see a crossplay Dallas versus Dallas 1 hour. See you there, right? On that PlayStation. Boy. Deadly. So we have to check that out for sure. But yeah, let's see. If you have any viewpoints, I feel like, I think for me, I try not to delve too much into the politics of the world because I was even saying this today about that. Um, I'm looking at this simple thing that we have going on with Mark Ronchetti and Grisham, right? And I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, why all the slander? I mean, I get that. It's not like this is new. This is what it has always lent itself to. But why do they have to slander each other? Or why do I have to tell you this dude didn't wipe his butt in 1978 with 2-ply toilet paper, but today he supports a 2-ply company? Like, who cares? Do you? So, in cases where all we're going to do is beat each other up and then talk about how positive we are, that's not positive, man. It's like the world needs to kind of take a step back. As grown up as the planet is trying to make itself, I think that they have to like handle the. They don't really have to handle anything. They just have to grow up the way that they want the rest of the world to grow up, right? So if we're supposed to be more open minded and see these viewpoints, et cetera, then I think that, we got to grow past all the propaganda and finger pointing and all that stuff. Just tell me what your platform is. Does it support us as citizens of the United States? Does it support us as citizens of this state and city? Does it support us locally in our businesses? What you're doing, does it help us, the people? Because if all it is you want to tell me what she didn't do and she wants to tell me what you didn't do, keep that, man. I'm not interested in any of that. You know what I'm saying? Where do you stand about veterans? Where do you stand about the homeless? Where do you know what I'm saying? What's your platform, man? What's the real deal? What are we talking? Guns, law, what? Not all this rhetoric. I'm not in that. So it's hard to really have that because I have a very open thought process to that. Just there. So that's my political conversation, brother. I appreciate the question though, Chris. That's dope. Um, right. You're right, and I'm sorry because now we're gonna jump back to the routine, and Chris is right when he says when you hit a plateau, change your routine or your diet. And that's what I did. I changed the routine and I didn't do like the same set of exercise except the run. I'm keeping the run. I know that people will tell you, running or whatever, so on and so forth, doesn't do anything, blah 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 blah. But it does because it builds my cardio, and that. So I just had to increase decrease the amount of time it took me to accomplish that, and then I do round robin exercises nonetheless. So like on Monday, it's going to be the run and the bow flex. And then on Tuesday, it'll be the run and free weights. And then free weights gets laid off on Wednesday because, I burn my muscles up with free weights. So I'll do on Wednesday, I'll do run and punching bag, or speed bag and punching and heavy bag. You know what I'm saying? And then I have 15-pound weights and 30-pound weights also, because I don't have a whole bunch. I don't have like a super rack. And then, by Thursday, Friday, we're back on Bowflex, and then maybe Friday we'll do combo Bowflex and free weights. So I really have tried to even keep my routine from getting stagnated as well, so that I get to work different muscle groups. Excuse me. I just have to increase rep numbers, because again, the goal really isn't to become the next Arnold Schwarzenegger of the universe, or Mr. Fantastic, or what was Billy Blanks. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be all yoked. I just want to be in great shape. I just want to be in good enough shape that if my family decides they all want to go on a hike, I can attend the hike and won't be like, yo, you guys go on without me. I'm on my knees here, bent over, like trying to breathe, and be able to keep up. And because my daughter, boy, we'll go to the mall, man, go shopping with my daughter. You want to run through the mall real quick? That girl moves. I'm like, my goodness. Like, my son will walk with you at your pace and stuff. And, my kids got to remember I have a dual hip replacement and I'm moving the way I'm moving. That's really good, right? Shoot, my daughter will leave you in her dust trail. She's like, look, you're back there and I'm up here. So you just kind of got to catch up with her and move into the space. My son, however, he'll pace himself with you. And my wife is shorter than I am. So, like, you slow down to stay with her. But yeah, definitely, and that's like fantastic advice, because the diet, I think, is probably the hardest part, because I love food, and to say no sometimes hurts, but I feel like if I put that in, it's going to hurt more. It's going to be worse. So yeah, try to maintain that, because your sodium levels and all that stuff, all these balances, all these different things you got to create within yourself to be able to maintain is crazy. But it works if you don't put so much emphasis on it, right? It's just kind of like you just kind of ride that wave, like you make that happen, set that up, and then that's what you do, right? So that in and of itself, I think, is brilliant, maintaining a good diet and then continuing to exercise, and then just change things up for yourself so that you can fall into different things. And if it's an increase in reps or decrease in reps, and for me, I'm like more reps, less weight, or not necessarily less weight, but a good amount of weight. Just do more reps. Excuse me. But I have to actually get into that discipline as well, because it's, man, let's see, at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes I'm not thinking about more reps. So just once I push myself, it's cool. So I don't know if you guys are watching anything in particular on any of your movie platforms, but this movie chop segment is what I'm talking about right here. I just watched Love and Thunder. Wasn't super excited, but I wasn't super disappointed either, because I already know that once you let Hollywood touch, some of your favorite characters, they might not all really be what it's cracked up to be. And you just have to learn that that's the experience they're going to give us. Same with Pinocchio. I saw Pinocchio. That was pretty decent. It's on Disney as well. Pinocchio was cute. I liked the animation and the human mix, the way they did it. I felt like they did it right. Snowfall, I still haven't watched, but I did just watch The Imperfects, which was on Netflix, and it's 10 episodes. And wow, I cannot wait for next season at this point. So that's my thing. Hey, thanks for coming, Chris, and we look forward to seeing you again. We'll be here again on Monday at 1, and appreciate you even being here. So thank you for your input. That's awesome. So, yeah, so I'm sorry. Pinocchio, Love and Thunder, and then like I said, I just got done watching the Imperfects, and wow, that was really super cool. The way the season ends, super cool. Um, I'm just excited to see what the next phase of everything is going to be for that. So definitely give Pinocchio, Love and Thunder a shot if you're interested. Oh, that's nice. Well, I'm glad he came. That's really cool because we're here for that. I like conversation, questions, talking. It's great. So, damn, I hate allergies, dude. This is like, and what makes it the worst, I think, is just the fact that I'm sitting here concentrating. I'm blowing my nose. I don't have any tissue back here. But you've been watching Dadchop, where we chop it up, dad style. So, I wanted to mention that when you get your new washer, I've learned one thing: how exciting it can truly be. Um, I end up treating a washer much like I end up treating a new video game system. When you are a stay-at-home parent, that's an exciting piece of equipment, man. A washer, a dryer, a stove, anything. And we've had the misfortune and good fortune to have to replace several of those items over the last year. However, um, the well, I'm gonna say like, I don't know. I had to sit and watch the washer actually operate so I could learn its functionality. And I was gonna say it's kind of the same thing with the stove. Had to learn that, and then the washer or the dryer was new also. Like, it's been so crazy. I didn't expect all those things to go down in the increments that they did, but it makes sense. Um, just because they were saying that manufacturers just don't make things the way they used to make the items, So the Maytag repairman didn't necessarily have a job in all the early commercials because Maytag machines are supposed to be reliable. But with the new tech and the way that I'd say these companies like to mull us over by telling us, oh, you could buy our extended warranty and you can have these items and you can have these wonderful things, but it's going to cost you to have that extension. And then you always go, nah. And then you always know that, like, in 4 years, this thing isn't even going to function right. So you expect every 4 years to replace a device. And if you repair it, if you should repair it, unless you really know somebody who can do that for you, that does you no good. And that's only because the repair is going to be more expensive because the parts aren't readily available. So now this company has you in between a rock and a hard place to the degree that you're going to need a new machine. Whether you decide you're going to go with them again or not, doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, you need a new machine. And that's kind of what it boiled down to for us. But we did get a Whirlpool based on the recommendation of the gentleman who did the assessment of the cost to repair, which was going to be astronomical compared to just getting a new one. So we found a nice Whirlpool that was on sale, and it doesn't beep. It washes. It's got a couple, you turn the knob, push a couple buttons. It's not even as smooth as my Samsung dryer, with like you push the buttons. It's nice and smooth on the Samsung. On this one, it's crunchy. Like you have to push, the button, and you can feel the button underneath the display, kind of click down and stuff. And it's kind of like, ooh. But it was a low price machine. And the cool thing with this one is the agitator comes out of the center. So you can just put a comforter in there. Or, I washed an entire throw rug for my son's room, which I didn't think I was ever going to get into a washing machine other than maybe going to a laundromat to do that. Hopefully, you got to use one of the large washers, and I was hoping I could get it in that. But I got it in this washing machine, no problem. Took the agitator out, put the rug in, washed it. We were done. The rug got dried in my dryer, which is large enough capacity to support it. Done rug. I rolled it up and put it away because all I really wanted to do was get it clean because he took it out of his room, and I just wanted to get it cleaned up, so I handled that. That's what I'm saying. It's like my dad universe is always chock full of stuff to do. I don't ever have a moment that I'm not really doing something dad oriented, and that's why I love hosting this show, because I like to share all that just so like all of us, moms, dads, just whatever level of parent you are, man, we can all help one another maintain this, man. And that's why I say then structure to my day. Time management is key. And as long as I do those things and take my time throughout the day, we're in it, and I succeed. And I love feeling successful by the end of the day. My bed's fresh. My floors are fresh. My house smells clean. I'm going to go make dinner. Those things. Those are the things that, by the end of the day, I feel like, cool, that's my reward. If nobody comes home and says anything to me about, hey, thanks, house looks great, hey, the food smells good, like none of that, because the thing is my family will eat. So as long as they're not rejecting the food, then I know they like the food. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody's on some, I'm not hungry or whatever, then I know I didn't do it right. But that doesn't happen to me. So I don't even mean that slightly, other than seafood, because my family's not big on, I like scallops and lobster and stuff like that. So if I do any of that preparation, 9 times out of 10, my kids will taste it. My wife doesn't do seafood, so that's just a done thing. I just want to say it was great to be on today. It was awesome to be able to broadcast again. I had to fix a lot of things, but we got updated, we got fixed. I'm going to try to set up a new overlay for us so that way my topics will be down here at the bottom of the screen. Like, oh, I got to lift my finger up right here. Camera's up here. So yeah, anyway, right here, like down here somewhere, so you can follow and know what different things we may be talking about for the day. I think that would be advantageous. Again, this is Dadchop, where we chop it up, dad style, dynamic, astronomical dudes and dudettes. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys came today. I want to. We'll see what happens for us on Monday. Hopefully, we get some more people coming to join us, because this is gonna get fantastic. And you guys are here for its inception. It's early time. It's infancy, as it were. Because I'd like to try to expand this and get us to where we got some things popping for ourselves. But nonetheless, thanks for tuning in today to Dadchop. Like and subscribe below if you're new. Like and subscribe below. Still, enjoy. Come back, see us Monday at 1 o'clock. We'll be right here chopping it up with the dynamic, astronomical dudes and dudettes of the universe. Love y'all, man. Peace.
I remember how I felt when you each one of my babies was born. The amount of warmth and overwhelming love I felt was bar none.